What is up, world? You are in tune to the Know It All podcast with your usual suspects, and I have a special guest today. My guy, B Dirt. B, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, you're looking especially just nice over there, man. Why don't you back up? Let the world know what you got on, man.
Uh, we got a horned frog on here. Man of my
Oh,
word, paying up my bets.
yeah, I love it. I love it.
Uh,
For those of you who don't know, this is a bet. Brandon B Dirt is not. I promise you, is not a TCU fan. He's definitely a Michigan fan, but he lost the bet. The bet's a bet.
you see right over here, Chris Webber hanging from a rim. That's to let everybody know where it stands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are certain people who I won't say no names don't pay their bet, but I absolutely love them. Think the world of them. Came in the world having that person as a family member, but we'll get off that, definitely. Tate, how you doing today, man? Talk to me.
What's up, fellas? Your boy Take Boy Fresh in the building, ready to give y'all knowledge on everything that we talk about today. Because I can tell during the week in the group message, all y'all be slipping from time to
The know it all that knows it all, huh? I love it. I love it. And we got the champ. Boombaye. Boombaye. Ali. Boombaye. We got the champ up at the top. Big G, how you doing today, man?
The champ is in the building from the Pick'em, a 2022-2023 season. But even before I get started, I'm letting the know it all folks know out there. We're going to talk about a new category today, and it's called Scrub. And I'm letting the world know right off the bat, Dakota Prescott, you have made the category of Scrub. But we'll talk about it as we go.
We probably not today, but I mean, we may get into it. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but we like to thank everybody who watches and like and subscribe. We like to thank you guys. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, so that when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. We are also live on Twitter, man. So if you got your Twitter hands and your Twitter fingers ready, make just there, man. Growing audience on TikTok as well, man. Definitely rock with your boys. But before we get into this, man, as always, we are gonna get into this. And what is up, world? We are here, man. Know It All Podcast got a lot to get into, man. We got some NBA trades, we got some NFL, but man, I think I want to just go ahead and jump straight into the fact that, hey, listen, we have had an historical thing happen. The GOAT himself has finally retired. We got Tom Brady announcing this week that he's done with football, man. It's the end of an era. It's the end of the era of all of the quarterbacks who came in with him. I'm gonna start with B Dirt, man. B Dirt, how you feel about this, man? Like, how did this make you feel? Did you think that he's done, or you think he's coming back, and then how did it make you feel?
Well, first, I'm heartbroken right now because I'm wearing this when I should be wearing the GOAT's number 10 Michigan jersey. But that said, I mean, I think he's really done this time. I watched a different player this year towards second half of the season. It wasn't that he fell off dramatically. I still think got a pretty live arm. I still think he can get it done, but didn't want to take those hits. I thought that was pretty obvious. Like, he was turtling up a little bit and really trying to avoid the hits and not moving around. He's always had a really great pocket presence and been able to buy that time. And it seemed like as soon as something happened that went wrong, it was, enough. Enough was enough. He didn't want to take those hits. So I think this, that and a lot of things he dealt with off of the the field, I think made this a long, hard year for him. And I think that, he just doesn't want to go through it, put it in. And who can blame him with $375 million waiting on him?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's one of the things that, I can tell you, he already has a broadcasting job lined up. It's there waiting on him. It's in the cut. I know it's near dear to Tate's heart as well. Goat milk, he's out of here. How do you feel about that, Tate? Talk to me.
Man, Tom Brady, even though he played for the team up north in college, even though he played for the team up north in the pros in comparison to Pittsburgh, he's the greatest. It was a time, I remember probably 2011, 12-ish, when it was a debate between him and Peyton Manning at the time who was the best. But Brady always beat Peyton Manning, man. And, so 7 Super Bowls, went to 10 Super Bowls, every passing record in the NFL. Just seems like a cool dude, married to a supermodel. Hey, Tom Brady is a dude, man. You know what I mean? And it used to be an animal called a billy goat. Not no more. It's called a Tommy goat.
he got the Tommy goat in there, man.
The Tommy goat.
G, man, talk to me, man. How you feel about the end of an era, man?
Hey, man, I got to give it up for Tom Brady, man. Like I said, there's a lot of different things that people might not like. I know he played for the evil empire, which, a lot of folks, either you're a Patriot fan or you're not. But even more so for him to transition from the New England Patriots to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and bring them a Super Bowl ring was just unbelievable. But I will say this about Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the end of an era for how we know, for us that's in our 40s, 50s, even late 30s, how we saw football play forever. You'll never see another statue quarterback that can't move, can't run around win in the NFL. The NFL has moved strictly to quarterbacks that are mobile, quarterbacks that can throw on the run, quarterbacks that can improvise, quarterbacks that can run RPO. So Tom Brady is the end of that era. You will never see another stand in the pocket, take the hit, get cracked quarterback excel in the NFL ever again.
Wow. So Jesse Lowe from Facebook said, lost his family just to satisfy himself over being home. I just don't understand it. Money dies. How much money does one, and he messed that up, one really need? Being in your kid's life is more rewarding than anything. Not judging, but I don't understand. I understand, Jesse. I understand your point of view. I could hear that. Damian Tate said TB12 did a lot of winning with lesser talent for many of those years. I can hear that. But that system was phenomenal, though, D Tate. System was phenomenal. The evil empire and the emperor does his thing. He can win with Mac Jones, so trust. If he can win with Mac Jones, he's doing it. Tom made the evil empire. Patriots weren't looked like an empire until about 12 years into Tom's career. Maybe.
He wasn't winning with no bowls with Mac Jones yet.
Yeah, not yet.
He ain't winning any playoff games.
Not yet. And I don't think it's happening. But it is what it is.
Look at this, you guys. My know-it-alls. This is a good one. TB12, we know, first ballot, Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Everybody agree?
Yep. Agreed.
Let me ask you guys a real question. Dion posed this. He was like, there are people there are less than 400 people in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Less than 400 in the Hall of Fame. And he says some of them really, when you look up, don't belong, right? Like Joe Namath's stats are horrendous, right? And how do you separate the ones who truly changed the game from the ones who, Big G's gonna call them a scrub, but they're not scrubs.
So you want like a platinum bust, like the platinum room?
No,
you don't have a bronze bust. You got a platinum one.
Great thing. Here's something I think that would come in. I want to hear you guys' opinion on this. Here's something that I believe that we could do for the NFL Hall of Fame that would kind of separate that, and you'll still get the people who made it still get honored, but then the people who are really good get honored as well. I think you should do every 10 years a best 22, right? So you should do like you can even use the name platinum 22. You got 11 first team, 11 second team, 11 first team, 11 second team, or you just do 11 offense, 11 defense, and that be your team, and that change every 10 years according to who came into the hall. What do you guys think about that idea? And how do you think you can kind of distinguish the top tier from the bottom tier? Because if you propose tiers now and you got a third team, what are you just like, you're not in Hall of Fame anymore. You're like Hall of Good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me, how do you guys propose that we can fix that? I'll start with you, B-Dirt.
If they're not going to put a separate wing in Major League Baseball for the people with asterisks by their name, don't waste your time trying to get a platinum room in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It ain't going to happen in Canton.
Yeah.
G, what you think, man?
Well, I mean, Deion hit the nail on the head. There's 400 less, so that means there's probably, I don't know the exact number, but there's probably been 100,000 plus guys that's played in the NFL from its inception all the way to now, probably easily. And only 400 guys made it. So it's hard to separate, and it's hard to compare errors. It's hard to compare like a Jim Brown versus a guy that's playing now, or a Walter Payton versus a guy that's playing now. Even the only position that might be close to be able to be comparable would be wide receivers. But those wide receivers back then, the Jerry Rice and all, they ran bang 8 routes. Guys now don't run bang 8s, because you can go across the middle clean. Before, you was getting decapitated. Yep. So it's hard to declare an error of players. The issue would just be who, it comes down to a popularity. Who do we think was the best ones? And I think probably in 85% of the rooms, Deion Sanders would probably be the number one corner. So,
So G, and G and B-Dirt, before I get to tape, that's my point. If you did a best 11, there's sports writers who are changing, who vote you into the hall anyway. If you do a best 11 on offense, best 11 on defense, in 10 years, that's going to change anyway, right? Mm-hmm. You get an opportunity with a popularity contest at that point. But I think, it does give you a sense of who was the most important at every position.
Mm. But the argument from era to era, as G's saying, I mean, that almost seems disrespectful. I'm going to bring that argument up later in one of our other points that we're going to be making here. It's just one of those things, like, I don't, do you look at how the hitting was in the 70s and 80s? A totally different game. Jack Tatum was laying wood. Yeah. I mean? Like, there was guys, like you said, decapitating you. So that argument, like, I mean, if you do, it's more stuff for us to debate during the offseason. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Stirs the pot.
What you think about my idea, Tate?
It's a novel idea, man. But I mean, I really don't think you can do it, man. I think like both Big G and B Dirt was saying, man, it's different eras of this thing, man. Joe Namath don't have near the numbers that some of these other guys have, but you can't tell the story of football in the 1960s without mentioning Joe Namath. And that's what gets you in the Hall of Fame. What you were to your era, not your numbers. What you were to your era is what gets you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, agreed. I agree for sure.
I definitely
got one of those guys that doesn't have the numbers, but I mean, you can't tell the story of the 1970s without him.
Who is that?
You guys have one. You know who it is.
Terry Bradshaw.
Bradshaw.
Yeah. You ain't disrespecting when you say we know Bradshaw wasn't that man.
51% completion percentage, only 2 more touchdowns than interceptions, but you can't write the 1970s without that man's name in it.
That's correct. Yeah.
Shout out.
Lamar said, I agree. To consider tiers is disrespectful to the game. I hear you guys, man. But I mean, I think it would be something else for, I mean, like the NBA did the all 75 team, I think it'd be a great thing to see the NFL do the same thing.
I think it's an interesting concept, Ma, and I'd love to be in that live chat when you guys do it.
Do an all 75 team? That's a hard deal. That's a hard, or all whatever the amount of time that the clock started ticking for the NFL to now.
I mean, just do
or
it,
even
man.
do that platinum 22. Do
Woo!
your
Platinum
22 bet.
22, that'd be great, man. The Platinum 22, I think that'd be great. Honestly, I think it'd be a good thing.
I want to be in a live chat for it, though. You ain't getting my 22.
Even
No,
before
I want that
we
smoke.
did it, there's probably only 3 guys that are guaranteed first team. I mean, guaranteed. I would say maybe Lawrence Taylor, Deion Sanders, Reggie White, Jerry Rice. Maybe outside of that,
Tom Brady.
So there's
Tom
an
Brady.
argument. There's an argument. After that,
I mean, there's an argument.
Begin,
there shouldn't be any argument for Tom Brady, but I mean, Tom Brady's he's the GOAT.
Do it.
He's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? He's the GOAT. So, he bids adieu. He walks away in the sunset. I mean, there we go, man. Second thing we got, and this is interesting. I want to get on the NBA as quick as I can because I got some points I need to make here. We have LeBron James, who is 36 points away from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's career scoring numbers. He's 36 points away. Real quick, let me grab some of these. Lamar said Barry Sanders, platinum first team, though. Man, you know what?
That's an argument.
That's an argument because you got Emmitt Smith who got more yards.
You might care about Emmitt Smith, man. It's between Barry Sanders and Jim Brown. Quit trying to slide it down.
Walter Payton.
And Walter Payton, but he said Emmitt Smith. That's blasphemy.
But listen, I'm rolling through them. There's 3 of them. I was going to say Emmitt Smith, who has more yards. Barry Sanders, to me, is the better running back. Then you have Jim Brown, who is probably just as good as all of them, but had a short career. There's a lot of factors there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Hines said they would take Brady before they would take Manning before Brady. That's crazy. They would take Manning before Brady? What?
I'm taking Manning before Brady. Devontae.
Wow.
Wow.
You're going to lose a lot of games. Just like Peyton Manning did.
Jamie Tate said, do it depth chart style. Best 5 for each position group. I would only do 2. Platinum 22. I mean, so you know what I'm saying? For real, like platinum 22, and you do 22 offense, 22 defense, and you leave it at that. I mean, because really, honestly, if you keep going, everybody be in there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would be in there. Tom said Bill Bates.
No, get him out of here.
Bill Bates won't make it.
Get him out.
Bill Bates, the safety for the Cowboys?
Yeah, he won't make it.
Scrub.
Tom must be a Cowboy fan too.
Definitely a Cowboy fan. But look, so we have the Lakers, and we have LeBron James, who's 36 points away from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. I want to ask you guys, how great of a feat is this? And I'm going to pose it in 2 different questions. And I'm just asking from the advocate point of view. So let me just say how I really feel about LeBron James. LeBron James, to me, is the most character dude that ever played the game of basketball. He's done nothing but keep his name scandal-free. Been there for his children. He's been an outstanding basketball player for a long time, top tier. He's in that top echelon of players to me, probably top 2, when I talk about money and Bron. So this is no hate when I'm asking a question, but him passing Kareem's all-time scoring legend, him passing that and getting that record, and I'm going to start with you, Tate. How much do you attribute, how great is it first? And then second, how much do you attribute this to longevity? And, how much would you just put on his greatness?
On a scale of 1 to 10 on his greatness, I put an 11. I mean, every record that's a career record is due to longevity. I mean, Kareem played 22 years, I believe. Correct. Tom Brady has every record in the NFL football quarterback wise. He just played 23 years. So every record, when you break the records, those records, all-time records, it's going to be due to longevity, sustained health, and just a sustainability and constant with your play. I mean, LeBron's been averaging at least 25 points a game for his entire 20-year career. This year, at age 38, he's averaging 30.5, 8, and 7 right now. I mean, in year 20, you could argue he's in the top 5 MVP vote in year 20. In year 20, Kareem was averaging 10 points per game. In year 20, Kobe was struggling field goal percentage with injuries and stuff like that. I mean, LeBron is the greatest basketball player to ever do it.
Crystal clear.
I hear that. Lamar Thomas said, whoever said they would take Peyton Manning over Tom Brady need to log off.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Hey, don't do that to my nephew, Lamar. Don't do that to my nephew. Damian Tate said that LeBron stays healthy, he will shatter the scoring record. Will LeBron be the GOAT after this year? With Bronny, assuming that he stays consistent with his numbers. I hear you. So same question to you, Big G. How much of this do you attribute to his greatness, and how much do you contribute to longevity? And I'm going to answer part of your question for you because I already know. You've already said LeBron James has probably kept his body the best that any other athlete before him. So I already know that part of the answer. But shorten it for us, man, and tell me, how much do you attribute to his greatness, and how much do you attribute to longevity?
But Tom Brady kept his body up too. That's part of it. Go ahead, Big
G. Yeah. They both invested close to $1 million a year on their body. So, that's part of it. However, LeBron James, after he shatters this record and probably going to end up 3 or 4 all-time assists ever.
He's 4 already.
4 already, and could go to 3 because I see Chris Paul might be on his way out of here, and LeBron might catch him over the next 3-4 years because LeBron's playing another 3 or 4 years. So I'm telling you right now, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player that ever played basketball. I don't care about. He got championships, so you can talk that yet. He got MVPs, you can talk that yet. But I'm saying as far as what he was able to do, performance on the court, there's no way in God's green earth a dude should be in his almost 40 years old and still averaging 30 points a game in the NBA. That is ridiculous. So as far I don't see, and matter of fact, I think LeBron is going to set the bar so high that you might not, like back then, those people that were around in the era when Jabbar came in.
But let me ask you a question.
Nobody's going to shatter Jabbar. LeBron just did it.
Do you see major defensive players in this league? Like it's easier than ever to score 50 points.
It's irrelevant because when he came into the league, he came in an era when they was playing defense. Matter of fact, I remember when he had a scrub basketball team and they went to the Palace and mauled the Pistons and he scored 27 straight points on the defending champions to go to the chip. I remember LeBron James doing that. So LeBron has been handling this business through errors. We went from backing the ball down, playing big boy basketball, dumping it into the post to shooting 3-pointers. And he's still a top 5 MVP player every single dang on year. LeBron is Big G, bro.
Big G, Bobby Compton said, don't forget Hank Aaron's longevity as well.
Oh, correct. I agree.
And then we had my nephew saying he also finished in top 5 in assists while getting the scoring record, which is, my opinion, is very underrated. Agreed. Damian Tate said Big G 100.
Trying to tell you.
Tom said Michael and Papa Jones.
Get up out of here, man. That's ridiculous, man. He put another scrub up there, man. God. Another scrub.
Oh my God. They say he averaged 31 in 06.
Yeah. 06, and it's 23.
Popeye Jones might get top 10 nicknames. That's it.
Yeah,
it's only top 10 list.
Top 10 nicknames. Hey, top 10 most forgettable players.
There you go.
Top 10 most forgettable players.
My froze, y'all.
Record stop.
Yeah, my stop the record.
Go ahead.
Tell your take.
I was going to say this. So Tate, 100% right with that. It's not how hot that flame burns, but how it burns hot for a long period of time. And that's part of longevity, is part of being the GOATs and being great. I mean, you can't have this. They're not one's not separate from the other. They're the same conversation. Now, I do understand how the argument, I think, from one era to the next era to the next era, when you start talking about Wilt Chamberlain and some of the records he has and some of it gets, there's always going to be that debate in sports. That's why there's a bunch of, gas bags like us talking about, who's going to be. And I feel like most people tend to stick to their generation, right?
Yeah.
To me, Michael Jordan was the greatest of all time. He was the GOAT in my opinion. And I'm not a Cavs fan. He ripped the heart out of my Pistons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just referenced. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm not whatever, but I've become, I don't know if you want to say a LeBron fan, but man, I appreciate watching what this guy does.
Yeah.
On the court and off the court. He just got the total package, man. He's just been great to watch. And I don't think there's a lot of people that always try to take shots at him. And everybody's saying it's Michael's, this and that. We won't give this man his flowers for another 15 years, more than likely. But I'm here to hand him to him. He's the greatest basketball player I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. Like I said, we were talking about the records, right? LeBron is about to set records that, like I said, those folks in the 70s would have said Jabbar with records was unsurmountable. I think LeBron's going to put the records where nobody's going to ever get close. Because I see.
I agree. He gonna get around 45,000 before he's done.
Yeah, nobody's going to get close because he's going to play at this high of a plateau until he decides he wants to quit. You won't see the only way you're going to see a huge drop off of LeBron James is if he plays till he's 50. You'll see a drop off maybe 45, 46 years old. But over the next 3-4 years.
I tell you one thing. I agree with Bob Compton in the live chat. He put a name out there that I think is grossly underrated all the time. That's Magic Johnson.
Absolutely.
Magic might not have those numbers and stats like those other guys do, but Magic's arguably the greatest winner in NBA history.
Absolutely.
Really. So, G, question. Well, first of all, let me read this. NBA cats taking nights off. They not touching bronze records. That's the other thing. And then Devontae said it's like he's penalized for being NBA ready at age 18 and sustaining that until now. Meanwhile, others took a couple years of college to develop. Understood. I get it. I mean, I wouldn't say that he's penalized, honestly, for real. I just think that Bron is he's a really great player.
It's your bias, bro. It's your bias. You don't want to say it.
No, I'm not going to say bias. I'm just going to tell you.
Bias.
Money, MJ is the greatest thing, the greatest scorer the game has ever seen.
Okay.
You can say whatever. If MJ existed in today's game, MJ would average 40. He would average 40, and you can't deny that.
Time out. LeBron James, put him in his prime in this era. Take 10 years off of him. Make him 28. LeBron would average 50 in this era. Nobody would stop him.
You put Jordan, LeBron is not the scorer that Jordan is.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when you're saying take money and drop money down in his prime in this era.
Don't even put that in your mind. LeBron.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
if
you drop Mike down in this era, in his prime, and then if you do that, take 10 years off LeBron and drop him down. Matter of fact, LeBron right now, take 10 years off of him, LeBron would probably average 40 and 12.
Hey,
but average a high triple.
So I don't disagree with Mike. Jordan probably is the greatest scorer outside of Wilt Chamberlain that the NBA has ever seen. But when you talk about he passed Jordan on the scoring list, you talk about he's number 4 in assists, you talk about he's top 20 in rebounds. Come on, man.
Clearly. Top 25 in assists. I mean, in steals. Clearly.
Understand.
So
get this. The NBA at this point is seeing somebody achieve something that's monumental.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that the NBA is struggling to get 1 million viewers per game? Struggling.
I got the answer.
It's kind of is a scary thought because now they're having to pay a lot. The NBA itself as a league is having to pay a lot of their sponsorship money back. You know, and that they're saying that it's trouble for the league because it's trending because of the way that they're paying players. They don't have this salary cap issue that the NFL has. They don't have a hard cap; they have a soft one. They're saying that a lot of teams can go bankrupt. Man, how do you guys see this? Like, how does this make you feel knowing that each basketball game is struggling to get 1 million viewers per share? Like the last game that LeBron just played, they didn't even have 1 million people tuning in. So how do you feel? I'm gonna start with Tate, man. How do you feel about this, bro?
I mean, I think as far as the bottom line goes in the business of doing, making money this year, it could sting a little bit, but I don't think you have anything to worry about. I think once the playoffs get started, ratings will be back up, just like always. You will have the matchups. You have Steph on every other night, LeBron on every other night, Zion, and just all the stars coming on every other night. Right now, you have your nationally televised game, and everybody might not be into it. It really don't mean that much to the fans right now until it gets to be April. So I think, even though right now bottom line issues as far as revenue, but once the playoffs get started, they'll exceed their revenue.
Yeah, definitely. Tom said, so we're saying Michael was a better offensive player than LeBron. Are we saying LeBron is a better defensive player?
Scorer and offensive player, two different things.
Is LeBron a better defensive player than Michael Jordan? I don't know that, but I know LeBron's an overall better player than Michael Jordan overall.
Mike had his defensive credentials and things to stand on, but on a basketball court in today's game where you got to guard 1 through 5, LeBron is better. LeBron could go down to the post and guard a big. In his prime, he guard a point guard. MJ couldn't guard 1 through 5.
No. As a matter of fact, MJ couldn't win unless they surrounded him with all-world defensive players, like Scottie Pippen, like Ron Harper, like Dennis Rodman.
9-time first team.
He stole half the Pistons team.
9-time all-time.
Hey, Thomas, I don't know who y'all is.
He stole half the Pistons
I did not say that he was a better offensive player. I think as an overall better offensive player, I would take Bron.
Yeah.
He does more things.
So let's get back to our subject. So the NBA Tate has a very interesting spin, and I believe that Tate, you're right. When we get to the playoffs, we're gonna see more viewership go up, man. We're gonna see viewership go up by leaps and bounds. But B-Dirt, are you concerned at all, man? Are you concerned for the NBA at all?
Here's a question. What did the Suns just sell for?
A whole bunch of money.
Like $4 billion?
Yeah,
$4 billion?
Yeah.
With 1 million viewers per game?
Yeah.
I mean, the math doesn't add up. You got to be concerned with, guys getting 250, 300 million guaranteed, with, people looking at $4, $5, $6 billion for their teams and their assets. It's grown. I mean, Ballmer paid $2 billion. What was that? 5, 6, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
It's multiplied very quickly, but it's like an inflated. Like when someone's stock rises before their performance rises. I feel like that's almost where we're at. Like we've hit a bubble almost, and the market normally resets itself. So is that something you're going to see happen here?
The Lakers are worth $6 billion.
Correct.
So another interesting development we've had, you guys, is this, man. Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks. Wow. And Kyrie ended up going for Spencer and Smith, and definitely a first round in 2024 and 2 second rounders after that. Good trade or bad trade? Let's go ahead and let's talk about this. Take good trade, bad trade. What do you think?
Man, I've changed on this, man. Initially, I thought it was a bad trade. I thought 2 ball dominant players. Luka has high usage, Kyrie has high usage. But I think it can work. I mean, because look at it. If Kyrie and LeBron work for championships, Luka and Kyrie can work, right? I mean, they just got to put the right pieces around them. I don't think you'll see or expect much from them this year. But if Mark Cuban pays Kyrie in the offseason, they have a full training camp. They surround them with the appropriate pieces that they need to fit their styles. I think you got a contender.
I mean, if you look at it, first and foremost, I'll say this: they're fourth already, right? And
no, they're sixth. They're sixth.
Kyrie, but they're fourth, bro. And you think about this.
No, check the stats. They're sixth, and if Minnesota wins tonight, they drop to seventh.
But okay? So they're only separated by a game or two. It's only a game that's separating that whole pack.
Correct,
right?
But they are sixth.
So you
they're six. They're six.
You add a player like Kyrie to the mix, right? And this, I think, could do a lot of good. I'm with Tate. I think this could do a lot of good for the Mavericks and help Kyrie in some way.
I'm reading your shirt. I figured that out.
I think they're definitely better for it, in my opinion. And we'll go to B Dirt. B Dirt, first and foremost, he said, good one for the Nets. We'll see after June if it was good for the Mavs, if he resigns. And then Thomas said 1.5 out of 11th, though. Yeah.
Correct. 2.5 from 13th.
I mean, everybody is bunched up together. It's a whole bunch of people bunched up together. So, B-Dirt, what do you think? Good trade, bad trade?
So, to analyze this, I think, right, Luka, probably the best scorer, pure scorer in the league, in my opinion. Reminds me a lot, if you rewind it, to what we said about James Harden. At that time, he was the best scorer in the league, and he got together with another ball-dominant player. And It didn't work. I get that we've seen him do it with LeBron, but LeBron is a very unselfish player. LeBron's a different bird. I think he's got a different composure and leadership in the locker room. I don't know if Luka has that. Are we going to see Luka grow up real quick? Because he's young. Man, he's a young pup, right? So is he going to give way a little bit more to Kyrie and grow up? It's going to be an interesting dynamic. I think from what I've seen in the past, I don't think it's going to work, but I'm not saying it can't. It can, but it's got to change. It's got to mold like clay a little bit in order to make it work correctly.
I hear that Sergio Mendoza said the duo ISO scoring will be one of the best in the league, but defensively I have concerns for this team, especially on the perimeter. I can hear that. I can hear that.
My question is, how did LeBron win with Kyrie and Kevin Love? They're not defensive players.
When I answer the question, I'm gonna tell you how he did it.
But you get your Tristan Thompsons, you get your Shumperts, you get shooters like J.R. Smith and James Jones. It's all about the pieces. Luka's in his prime.
Yeah.
Kyrie's at the end of his prime, but he's still a bucket. He still get you 35 and 5 a night.
I agree.
Think about this. Luka goes to the hole, and he gets to the hole. Guess who's standing out on the perimeter? Who can actually shoot the rock?
Who?
Kyrie out on the perimeter who can shoot the rock. So, I mean, you got Christian Wood still under there. They have pieces. Bro. And I think they could get more pieces to help them. But go ahead. I want to hear your vantage point, bro.
All right, so check this out. Kyrie Irving and LeBron James work for one reason and one reason only. LeBron had already won before he came to Kyrie. Kyrie wanted to win. Kyrie only looked at LeBron as a non-equal for about a season and a half. After a season and a half, Kyrie was looking at LeBron like, I'm just as good as you are. And he wasn't going to take no backseat to nobody. That, along with injuries, derailed Cleveland from getting the back-to-back chip, right? Now, we've seen Kyrie in Boston with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Didn't work. We saw Kyrie in Brooklyn with KD, who they're going down sharing buckets, playing ISO basketball. It didn't work. So now Kyrie's going to try the young fella, Luka, and be like, nah, bro. And they're going to play ISO basketball. And they traded away two of their best shooters. They traded two of the shooters away to get him. Bro, it ain't going to work because Kyrie's not going to stand still and let Luka dribble for 21 seconds and then kick him the ball. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. I agree with Tate what he said about the pieces, but this year, the ideology for the Mavericks was you made it to the conference championship last year. guess what? You ain't going to the conference championship this year.
No, they not. I told you don't expect much this year. They're gonna finish out. They might be a 6 or 7 seed in the play-in this year. I think that I could see them drop. But next year with the offseason, with Kyrie got his money because Mark Cuban gonna give it to him, and then they have his bird rights. That's big in this trade.
That's correct.
That you can go over the cap if you have a player already.
Correct. That is correct.
So they have his bird rights. They got Luka. They just got to add some pieces, man.
Think about it. Kyrie wanted to be there. I think so. Here's my thing. I hear Big G says a lot of stuff that makes sense, but then the other thing is you say I'm biased with MJ and LeBron. You don't like Kyrie. You've never liked Kyrie. You've never been a Kyrie fan.
I like Kyrie a whole lot more than I like Luka.
And
I like Kyrie a whole lot more than I like Luka. I promise you that much.
Listen, so here's my problem. Here's what I'm saying to you. Kyrie is balling. He's in his bag right now, which is why he could have demanded a trade. And this is why he wanted to go to the Mavericks. I think Kyrie wanting to be there. You said it earlier out your mouth. Him wanting to be, he wanted something, so he dumbed himself down to get what he wanted. He wants to be there. So because he wants to be,
I think he wanted to go to the Lakers. I think he'll settle for Dallas. I think he likes Dallas. But if he had his preference of the 4 teams that was interested, the Lakers, Dallas, the Maverick, and the Heat, it would have been Lakers 1, Dallas 2.
And Cuban ain't signed that boy. So we'll see if he signs him. Then that's another story.
Hold on, finishing.
You don't make the trade if you don't plan on signing him.
Yeah, finishing my thought. Finishing my thought out, I'm saying to you, I think the two coexist, and I think they'll find a way, and I think they'll be successful this year. Don't think they'll win it all. Think they'll be successful this year.
So you're saying they're gonna make it to the conference finals?
I don't think they'll win it all. I think that they'll be successful.
They went to the
conference finals. I'll tell you like this: there'll be a hard out in the playoffs for anybody.
But they went to the conference finals last year.
Yeah.
So anything less than that, you took a step backwards.
Okay.
You went to the conference finals last year.
Sean, do you know how hard it is to get? That's like saying the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. They took a step back.
No, they didn't. They went to the conference championship again.
That's not true.
And they were one play away. They didn't take a step back.
Okay, so even if you don't make it back to the same spot, you realize you can improve and just it not be a year. Winning it all takes chemistry on top of talent and on top of everything working together in your favor. That you can't it doesn't just happen. It's not magic, right? So Thomas said it was working great in Brooklyn before KD went down. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. It was working well in Brooklyn. Sergio said, I do think Dallas can go to a deep postseason run if they acquire good, tall 3 and D players. I think they need another.
How they gonna get them? They ain't got no pieces left.
I think they need another 3 and D. They do got pieces left, Sean.
So they're going to trade Tim Hardaway to get a guy? They're going to trade Christian Woods to get a guy?
They can do that if the fit is better.
Okay, I feel you.
I think this TCU hat's giving me a rash.
And I saw Javante say something about CP3 and James Harden. Let's not forget the Houston Rockets was a Chris Paul injury in Game 7 away from going to the finals and beating Golden State.
Yeah,
bad hammies.
But I'll take Chris Paul and James Harden over Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving all day in their prime versus these two in their prime. I'll take the other two.
You got 1 and 1s. Kyrie's a 1. Luka's a 1. Thomas said we said this was a play-in team at the beginning of the. You did say that this was a play-in team at the beginning of the season. Conference finals shouldn't be the bar.
I didn't say Dallas. I said Dallas was a play-in team.
Yeah, you said Dallas was a play-in team.
Correct. And what they 6 right now.
You said they were a play-in team. So
Thomas has to realize this is a little bit of G's spitefulness coming.
But wait a minute, they're 6. They're 6. They're 1 game out of a play-in spot. So I'm like, hey, I'm dead on because I picked the Denver Nuggets. But let's rewind the tape. I picked the Nuggets.
You're the same person that said Luka Doncic is trash.
Trash. Full trash.
It's full trash.
I can't get down with you on that one, G.
Yeah. Nobody can.
I don't care. Scrub. He's a scrub. He's a scrub. Look, he can't play with another superstar. You watch it. They're going.
Well, we're going to find out.
They're going to implode. They're going to start arguing, and it's going to be a fiasco. Watch what I'm telling you.
Luka's happy to get Kyrie there. Luka wanted the opportunity to play with another star.
You don't
not just Jalen Brunson, not just Tim Hardaway, not just Christian Wood. He wanted the star.
Yeah, look at Porzingis now. I mean, I think he's balling. I don't think they got what they thought he should. What?
Kristaps Porzingis is playing good basketball over.
Good, but I don't think he's a number 2. I don't think he's Robin. He's not Robin. I don't think
we'll see when Bradley Beal comes back and he can play. We'll see.
I think Bradley Beal is back for the past 3 or 4 games.
Again, G, like I'm saying, you feel like Luka's trash, and I can't agree with. I don't think anybody on here can agree with that. Javante said Dallas has Christian Wood, not KD. Understood.
But they got Luka.
He said it's Luka's team. Kyrie will find another reason not to play after he gets signed. Thomas said, I love this show. Damian said Luka's like LeBron. He will pass the ball to Kyrie. Absolutely. You don't think that they picked up the phone and asked Luka before they actually picked up and said, we're going to take Kyrie?
Nope.
Man, he's the star player of the Dallas Mavericks. He's in on every major decision about who comes to town.
Thank you.
Okay, nope.
Thank you. They was like, Luka, well, you're gonna like this anyway. They did a semi-pro move from Will Ferrell and said, I'll trade him for a while.
The tail of the tape is going to be if he signs. If he signs, then okay, maybe, because they got time to build. The boy ain't gonna sign. Kyrie walking.
I can't believe that you think that they made a move like that.
Rental. 6 months rental. 6 month rental to try to shake it up and get far in the West. That's all he is. 6 month rental.
Let me hear from you. Do you feel like that they actually didn't call Luka before this trade happened?
B-Dirt froze.
I didn't freeze.
Oh.
You're asking me that?
Yes.
No, of course they had to call him. Like, I don't think you don't like, dude. He's your franchise. Of course you get his input. That's crazy.
Just like any major decision, personnel wise, they're gonna run by Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I apologize. It was such an absurd question. I assumed you were asking Big G.
You know, I wasn't. Big G. He said, "Oh, I can't believe they didn't call him. They didn't call him.
You gotta be.
He's a scrub.
And if you're not doing that, GM's gone.
Absolutely. So we had, before we actually talk a little bit of Super Bowl, because we're right up against it in the very end, we had some coaching changes, man. D'Amico Ryans to the Texans.
Yeah.
How you guys feel about that, man? I'm going to say my piece, and then I'm going to move out the way. Man, I hope they give him an honest chance, man. That's all I ask, man. Give him an honest chance. If Houston boy, give him a chance to get his guys, man. 3 years, give him a chance. Give him a shot. B-Dirt, what do you think about this?
I think the guy's going to get his chance. Rather, it was from outside people, because he was also linked to a couple other places. Rather that was part of the pool or not, they gave him 6 years. You know, that's a pretty good stint for somebody who has not a proven commodity at head coach.
Correct.
Great defensive coordinator. The guys seem to be, he's got a magnetic personality. All the guys seem to flock towards him. Hear nothing but positive things. Man, you got 6 years. That's probably not a buyout for at least 3.
That's correct.
So I think he's going to get that opportunity, and he's got a lot of picks that he's going to get to stack his cupboards with. Looking good over the next couple of years.
Yeah, Jesse Lowe said on Facebook, Big G, you tripping today.
Because I don't like Luka. It is what it is. I don't like him.
I mean, you trash because you don't like him.
He trash.
All right. So what do you think about this hire, Tate? What do you think about this hire, D'Amico Ryan?
It's a great hire. I mean, anytime you can bring in some youthful energy and youthful, new type of schemes and stuff like that, it's a win. I mean, he seems like he's going to be a player's coach. He's one of the Houston Texans' probably top 5 all-time players, maybe top 10 franchise history. I mean, so he's coming back home. He's getting his opportunity. He got signed a 6-year contract. And like B. Dirt said, he's going to get the Phillies covered with the players that he helps choose. And then you go from there. I mean,
Right.
I think, and they're in a division outside of Jacksonville coming up that's really winnable. So
Correct.
at the very least, they finish second in their division after next season.
Yeah. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat too. Do you think it was a good hire for the Texans? Do you think he gets a good opportunity? You guys talk to us in the chat.
They gotta get this quarterback pick right, though.
Yeah, they picked 2 and 12, and that's going to be the critical. But he's going. Guess what? Bryce Young going to Houston, bro. Bryce Young, he gonna do. Even if Houston got to trade up to go to number 1 to get him, D'Amico is an Alabama guy. He done already talked to Saban about this dude, bro. I wouldn't be shocked if they pick a Bama player at 2 and turn around and get another Bama player at 12, because he's stockpiling SEC football players down there in Houston. He know how to win. He ain't stupid, so he gonna get him an opportunity to get some victories real quick, fast, in a hurry in that division.
So you like that? You like that?
Oh, love it.
Love it. I hear it. So man, next we're gonna jump into this because we're up against time. Super Bowl preview, man. It's a lot of good narratives here. We got 2 Texas boys. We got Mahomes. We got Hurd. We got 2 African American quarterbacks, and then we got the Kelsey brothers. We got 2 brothers playing in the Super Bowl for the first time, man. I mean, this is a bowl that I'm seeing, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, hey, it could go both ways. My initial thing, though, is I do believe KC and Mahomes win this game. Looking at it from the perspective where
he's a hater,
is a magician. He's one of the greatest young quarterbacks in our game today. And the other thing that I'm looking at from a football perspective, Philadelphia's defensive line made their defensive backfield look better than it was. They've got torched a couple of times, and if anybody's going to torch them, it's going to be my homeboy. So that's just my first original thing. And I'm going to jump out of here to Tate real quick. Well, after I get these, I'm going to get these comments real quick. Super Bowl will be low scoring. The Eagles are going to run it against the Chiefs' throat, and Mahomes will be forced to methodically go down the field. I hear that, Tate. That's a Eagles fan right there. Javante said, I got the Chiefs by 17. I don't know that it'll be that big, but I do think the Chiefs win this game too, nephew. Definitely, I think Mahomes worked Mahomes magic. But Tate, let me holler at you, man. What you got? What you got for this game? Just your initial thoughts before we jump into it, because we're definitely going to break it down next week.
Man, Philadelphia is the best team coast to coast in the NFL.
Absolutely.
They lost 1 game with Jalen Hurts. You look at the pressure they probably gonna get on Mahomes. They got Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Sweat, Hargrave, and Ndamukong Suh. Look at that front line, man. So they gonna shut down the run. You got Bradbury and Slay back there. Now the linebackers, you got Reddick, and who you got in the middle, I'm not even sure. But I think the safeties can be had. So Kels is gonna be somebody that they got a scheme for. But I don't see the Kansas City defense really stopping the Philly run game. I really don't. And then they got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, tight end's name.
Dallas Goedert.
Man. Philly gonna win this game by 10.
I'm gonna tell you, Philly. I'm not gonna say they got lucky, but I'm gonna tell you a lot of stuff went right for them. I love the move that Devontae Smith made early in the game. I've never seen a receiver be that smart. I loved it, man. He knew he didn't catch the ball. He got up quick. Let's get to the line. Get to the line. Championships are made of those kind of things. Championships are made of almost plays. Championships are made of good playing. And I seen them too. This Philadelphia offense is being cohesive and running together. I get it. But I do believe that defensive backs can be had. I believe they can be had. B-Dirt, talk to me, man. What's your initial thoughts on this game?
I need to ask G a couple questions here. Big G is the king of my top 10 list.
Yeah.
Top 10 quarterbacks this season in the NFL. Jared Goff in your top 10?
Heck no.
Kirk Cousins in your top 10?
Nope.
Trevor Lawrence?
Close. Yeah, he 9 or 10. He in there.
Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott is a scrub.
Okay.
He don't see no part of the 10.
So one top 10 quarterback in my judgment here the Eagles played this year, and that's Trevor Lawrence on October 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
They skated through all this other stuff because you can't put Aaron Rodgers wasn't a top 10 quarterback this year.
Nope.
He hung 33 on him. I'm looking at these guys. Bears.
Dak put 40 on him. Go ahead.
What's that?
Dak put 40 on him. Go ahead.
So, you know, I mean, and I don't disregard Dak. I mean, he had a tough year. He's normally around in that area, that 10 to 15 area, right? But man, I just don't think they've seen it. I think you're getting 2 weeks left to get Mahomes' ankle straight. I just don't think I've seen suspect play from some of their defensive backs. I know that they get home. I know that they could put pressure on him, but I know that pressure can also get you torched against Mahomes. I'm taking the Chiefs by 4.
Yeah, definitely. G, it's on you now. The floor is yours, man.
All right. So first of all, McCole Hardman ain't playing in the game. He's already ruled out. Juju Smith-Schuster probably ain't gonna play in the game. Kadarius Toney probably ain't gonna play in the game. Who playing wide receiver for Kansas City? Y'all talking about they suspect. You got to have wide receivers that can get them. They don't have no WRs going into the game.
MVS.
Mahomes, Van Der Scanlon, I'll give you him one. Him and Kelce. Right. So they ain't got all these weapons that Mahomes gonna be throwing around. Mahomes is still probably gonna be about 80% going into the game. About 80, he might get 85 with a shot, with a Novocaine shot, but 80 to 85. So he's gonna be sitting still, and they're gonna have to have little short, quick dump offs, which plays in the way for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles can run to the ball and get to him and smash him. But going the other way, Jalen Hurts is going to run RPO. They ain't got what the one dude, Jones, playing defensive end. Jones weighed 325 pounds. If he come at Jalen, he going to hand it off to Sanders. If he go to Sanders, Jalen going to run right around the corner. Philadelphia Eagles win the game 24-10, and Jalen Hurts is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Mark it down on your calendar, count it, and you might as well go to Vegas with it because it's going down this year. The Eagles win the chip.
I wouldn't go to Vegas with it, man. He said, y'all said Mahomes wouldn't do nothing without Tyreek. Now, see, we didn't say that Mahomes wouldn't do nothing with Tyreek.
No.
We always said Mahomes was a killer.
Yeah.
But, Big G saying he won't do something without Juju.
No, without 3 of the receivers, Kadarius Toney, Van Der Scanlon, and Juju. That's a lot.
And he said, G can convince me.
And the offense is different, man. When they had Tyreek Hill, they was scary.
Yes.
Tyreek Hill was explosive. They're not scary now.
Nope.
I mean, you make them drive the field, you try and take Kelce away from him, and you play ball. I mean, when they had Tyreek, they hit you over the head at any time.
Quick.
No, you're not worried about that now.
I'm going to tell you, the only person that's doubtful, G, is McCole Hardman with the pelvis. Juju and Kadarius will probably end up playing because both of them are questionable. And I'm going to say this.
Hey, I heard a report that they said if they played today that Tony would play.
Yeah. So I'm just supposed to tell you like this, G. One, the short, if you force Mahomes in a short passing game, he still got weapons. Pacheco's a weapon. You say what you want to say. Little boy is a scat back and he's a weapon.
How you beat Kansas City is you keep everything in front of you. You keep everything in front of you.
Can they do that? Me and B Dirt have said the same thing. Their DBs can be had. Their defensive line, what Tate said was real. They have over 80 sacks. Hold on.
I don't know about B Dirt, but you biased, bro. You ain't picking the Eagles.
I'm not.
Okay.
What you have to understand is I know football. You have to get it. Their defensive line have got over 80 sacks with playoff combined. Their defensive line is good, but their defensive backs can be had.
Bradbury and Slay both have been all pro.
Yeah, but they can be had. Aaron Rodgers had them. Dak had them. Trevor Lawrence had them. They can be had. They really can.
They're going to keep that as 24-10, 24-13 max.
I'll tell you what, the biggest respect thing I've got for the Eagles is out of their starting 22, like all of them were drafted, or out of their starting 11 on offense, I mean, all of them were drafted except A.J. Brown. That's pretty awesome.
And tell me how Kansas City's defensive backfield with about 4 rookies back there match up against A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert.
Quez Watkins, they're going to be out there killing them boys.
Brown's going to be a problem for him.
I think it is going to be a problem. I don't expect it's just going to be the Kansas City's going to shut them down. I just think that my homeboy is better in this matchup, and I trust him more. You know what I'm saying? I trust Mahomes more than I do Jalen. And I like Jalen.
I'm just asking an early question. When the Eagles raised the trophy and they picked this year at 10-31, who's the best team in the NFC East? Because they're going to raise the trophy and they pick again at 10-31.
The Eagles.
Okay.
Point.
Yeah.
If the Eagles hold par and they hold suit and they add to this same roster,
which they're going to add.
They're going to be a problem for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
sure.
I think they're going to lose some people. They're going to definitely lose in the corner, so they have to replace that. And I think
Joey Porter.
Yeah, I think that
10 and 31.
Yeah,
that's where they pick at.
I think they'll do that with Joey Porter, and I think that they'll get another slot receiver. They're a slot receiver away from me from being a real problem. I mean, I'm talking total problem.
Jalen Hyatt, Rashid Rice will be sitting there at 31. They'll be sitting there at 31.
Being, really, really a problem there. But like I said, honestly, I do pick KC in this game, and I think KC will beat them. I think it'll be real close, maybe by 3, a walk-off field goal. And I think they get them. I don't think that those defensive backs are going to have anything to do with stopping Mahomes.
What Damon say in the chat? What you said, Damon? What you said?
He said the corners are
rough.
No.
Before that, what Damon said?
He said, I'm going to that. He said corners are rough. And then he said, in football has the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. I never have the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl every year. I never even say that. I said we're going to be good. I don't say that. But what team, what fan is not going to say our team is going to be good? That don't make sense.
I didn't this year. I sure didn't about Pittsburgh. Tate, did you?
In the past, I've said it a lot.
I mean, I knew it'd be a down year. It'll be a down year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys, we're up against it, man. Parting thoughts. Let's go to our parting shots, man, because, the truth is not in this room at all. So truth is not in this room. Parting shots. Be dirt. Talk to me.
All right. I will say this. Thank you for having me on the show. I wish it was in better circumstances than wearing this purple TCU garb. But that said, Maud, I've been trying to pay off this bet, and most people don't know, forever. Inconsistencies. I'm jumping on after the Cowboys game, and then Ma goes AWOL after the Cowboys get beat. Anytime you want to take an 8-point underdog straight up, I don't care if it's betting cash. You want me to come on this show naked? Whatever it is, you pick up the phone and you call me. I'm your Huckleberry anytime you want to bet an 8-point dog straight up. I don't care who they playing. I don't care what's going on. Bring it.
I love it, B-Dirt. Love it, B-Dirt. Party shot, Tate.
Hey, man. We kind of touched on the NBA today. I'm going to hit y'all with a little NBA flavor and my version of a Big G burner. It's going to sound kind of crazy because it's what? Today is the Sunday before the trade deadline. Deadline is Thursday.
Yep.
Kevin Durant has asked out of Brooklyn since Kyrie got traded.
Yes, he did.
Kevin Durant goes to the Lakers for AD and Russell Westbrook. And the Lakers going to have to give up a first-round pick, but they're going to get back Kevin Durant and probably Joe Harris to make the money work.
Ooh, the Lakers.
Like
the Lakers.
Let me ask you this, Tate.
Wow.
Where are they at if that happens?
Well, right now I think they like in the 11th spot, and so they still have to play in. But if they get KD, they turn it around. KD, LeBron, with Pat Beverly playing defense, you still got Schroeder, you still got the big what's his name Brown dude to play center, the big physical body. That's what they need. They don't need a post that score. They need a post that bang. If you got KD and LeBron, you need a post that bang. You still got Pat Beverly, you still got Schroeder. You still got Lonnie Jones. They just picked up Rui Hachimura.
Yep.
The Lakers will be a problem. I'm saying that's going to happen before this week is up by the trade deadline.
You're calling that.
I'm calling that.
Look,
Wow.
Put a receipt on it, B.
Put a
Dirt.
receipt
That's what
on
I'm
it.
talking about, Tate. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna definitely hang a receipt on that one, man. We got some Facebook comments. He said, "I feel the Titans need a new coach. I'm a super fan. They just can't finish."
Who was that? Jesse.
Praise Jesse Lowe.
I like Mike Vrabel though.
Vrabel.
Yeah.
If Vrabel leave Tennessee, he going to O State.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he gonna be coaching one of your teams, Jesse.
Yeah.
Bobby Compton said that Bryce Young is booty. Wow. Bobby Compton. I don't understand that.
Booty is a big G take. Booty's a big G take.
He's just little. He's not trash. He's
strong.
Hey, I had this conversation the other day off camera. I like CJ Stroud better than Bryce Young. That hurts me as a Michigan fan to say.
I agree with you. I mean, I see Tua coming all over again. When he get in that league and get popped a few times.
Ouchie.
Yeah.
Y'all say ouchie. He said ouchie. He can't put a Band-Aid
Got a
on
boo-boo.
them. Can't put a Band-Aid on them. Big G, pardon shot, baby. Let's go.
Man, pardon shot, man. So the precedent has been set down there in Columbus, Ohio, man. Inside source, inside information. I'm telling you right now, they got in a whole lot of trouble for jacking off, not being to the workouts on time. And them coaches ain't having it, bro. They shut the facility down and they had to clean from the top of the windows all the way down to the floor. They couldn't touch a football. They couldn't touch a weight because they realize and understand and know that the pressure is on to get the chip. So I like what I'm hearing early and often about a no-nonsense approach out of these coaching staff in Ohio State. Look for the Buckeyes to be ready to roll day one and possibly be the preseason number one team in the country. That's my parting shot.
Man, my parting shot, man, we definitely have a lot of college athletes that we rock with. You know, Will Baker, University of Nevada. You know, my youngster Elijah down there at Stanford who played in the Senior Bowl yesterday, which we'll talk about some more. KJ Adams at University of Kansas. And I want to say that, you know, I'm talking first, I want to talk basketball, then I want to talk real life. This year, the Big 12 basketball wise have 7 teams that are, if the tournament started, they have 7 that are in, and the Big 12 is doing their thug fizzle as far as basketball is concerned this year. It's really, really good. They went to the SEC challenge, which Alabama are dogs. Tennessee are dogs. They went into that challenge and they did really well, 7-3. So shouts out to the Big 12. But I really, my heart goes out to KJ and his family. We are praying for you. I just want you to know that KnoiAllZ family stands behind you. Know your mom's battling cancer at this moment. We just want to send prayers and good vibes your way. We love you guys. We hope that everything will continue to work out on you guys' behalf. And we think each and every one of you out there in viewership land would just lend your hand in prayer and pray for him and his family, okay? We like to just thank you guys for being with us and rocking with us during this time, man. Of course, we ask for you to like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so that when we go live, you'll definitely be here for us and for myself, for G, for Tate, and for B-Dirt coming to pay off his debt. And I appreciate, let me say this. I appreciate a man that pays off his debts. I love the champ. Big G is the champ. He is the champ, but he doesn't pay debts. Don't ever bet Big G because he won't pay his debts. And I love a man who pays his debts. I'm out of here. We love you guys. Peace.